Hi, so Ms. Winans here. So we're going to go over some of the academic language used in badminton. So first off, we have this term used or called actively engage. So to participate in activity while showing genuine interest and a desire for excellence. And I know for those athletes that are, if you're playing an activity and you're playing maybe a sport that you maybe don't care about, don't normally play. This can be something that's challenging, and I understand that. But as far as trying to learn any type of game or learn a new skill, this is something that you need to practice over time and hopefully improve at, because you can become a better athlete if you're more well-rounded and have more skills. The sample sentence over there, some of these terms have sentences where it explains how it's used. Just to make this go a little bit faster, I won't be reading off each one, but you can read that on your own time. Agility, so this is the ability to change body position and direction quickly and efficiently, efficiently. So meaning this is a skill that helps you in various sports, not just badminton, but hockey, football, basketball, soccer. It makes you more explosive as an athlete, being able to change directions very quickly. So as an offensive threat, you're someone that is, I guess, more difficult to stop when you're trying to score. Defensively, it's also important to have agility because you're more reactive and can cover a little bit more ground in a quicker motion, and can protect and help your defensive team for their ultimate goal. Athletic stance. This is described as a body position in which the feet are far apart, the knees are bent, and the hands are up and out. This allows an athlete to react to anything that happens next. When you're standing straight up and down, it's hard, usually when you're trying to react to the birdie coming towards you, or if the birdie's far away, if you're not in an athletic stance, it takes a little bit longer to react to the birdie, because to get in that explosive stance, if you're already in that stance, you are one step ahead, a second faster already, reacting to the birdie. So it's important to make sure that you're low and ready, because you are more reactive and can move quicker to the birdie. If you're in this sentence right here, if you stand in an athletic stance, you'll be ready to react to any moves your opponent makes. So it's really helping when you're doing when you're mirroring your opponent. Athletic stance, a body position in which the feet are far apart, the knees are bent, and the hands are up and out. This allows an athlete to react to anything that happens next. And this is for almost I should say all sports. When you're in this low position, you're able to do more things quickly and more reactively. So it's important to be in this stance more often than not, because when you're standing straight up and down, usually to move, you have to get back into this athletic stance. So if you're already in that stance, it takes that one step out of it and you're more quick. Backhand, a stroke made from the side of the body opposite of the hand holding the racket. So this is one of the skills that we practice in class. This is probably one of the more difficult ones as far as the strokes that are used. But just like with anything, when you have more practice with it, it does get easier over time. Backhand serve, this stroke used to return a ball hit to the right of a left-handed player and to the left of a right-handed player. And then you can read that sentence on your own time too. Let's keep going. Balance, an even distribution of weight which allows someone or something to stay upright and steady. Balance is used in many sports. Usually some students will associate balance with like dance, gymnastics, but balance and coordination overall are used in almost all sports. Cardiorespiratory endurance, the ability of the heart, lungs, and blood vessels to supply oxygen and nutrients to the muscles during long periods of exercise. So This makes your engaging and practicing this, 4 to 5 days a week is really important because it keeps you well conditioned for all aspects of not just sport activity but also workouts, and it keeps you happy and healthy for and hopefully towards the goal of longevity. Center line, the vertical line dividing the courts into two halves, creating the right and left service courts. Clear, so a shot hit deep into the opponent's court. Communication skills, I think for most team sports this is huge because this prevents any errors as far as where you need to be, where your teammates need to be, and hopefully improves the offensive and also the defensive strategy of the game. Cooperation, the process of working together for a common goal or outcome. This is a skill that you will need probably for the rest of your life. You're going to be working with people and different people that you may or may not like. So if you have cooperation skills, you are someone that can be depended on to work in various environments with various people, so it makes you more employable as well. So it's not something that can be just used for athletics. Dominant, the hand or foot that is preferred for manipulative fine motor skills. So if you're someone, for example, that is right-handed for writing, you're probably more dominant in that hand for various skills. So you might be a right-handed hockey player, right-handed badminton server, what have you. It just means that you are a little bit stronger in that hand or foot. Drop shot, a shot hit softly and with finesse so that it falls rapidly and close to the net in the opponent's court. So I'll read this example, just maybe help it make more sense. Tommy saw that Nolene was in the back of the court, so Tommy knew that using a drop shot return would be a good strategy for getting a point. So it's reading the defensive player and putting the birdie or the shuttle, if you want to call it that, where the opponent is not. Effort. In movement concepts, this refers to how the body moves and applies the concepts of time, fast, slow, force, strong, light, and flow, bound, free, to specific movement situations. So George knows the effort he applies when practicing his smash directly affects the movement of the shuttle. So how much force he puts on the shuttle when he is serving. Etiquette, the set of customary or acceptable behaviors among members of a group or in a specific setting. So, for example, I talk about this all the time because it's one of my pet peeves, but when athletes or even people in the community, when they're in a weight room facility and they don't use proper etiquette by putting back their weights, basic weight room etiquette is always cleaning up after yourselves, wiping down the equipment that you've used. So for maybe badminton, it would be proper etiquette, shaking hands before or after the match, cleaning up after yourself after a match, making sure you grab all your equipment when you're going to a following court, what have you. So there's just acceptable rules and behaviors that may not be always talked about, but it's just more common sense. Fair play, respect, adherence to rules, and equal treatment of all concerned. Force, strength or power used on an object. So how much strength you're putting behind your serve, or if you're receiving the shuttle, it's that max, I shouldn't say max, but that effort that's put behind it. Forehand, so the stroke used to return a ball hit to the right of a right-handed player and to the left of a left-handed player. So this one's typically used when you are assigned to target, and it's more used in the receiving end of it. In the sentence, it says Luke is right-handed, and so he returned a shot on his right side by using a forehanded stroke. Forehand serve. A serving used a forehand grip in which the racket is extended on the dominant side of the body and the player uses the whole arm to start play. Joe used a forehand serve to start the gameplay and showed a higher, longer serve. Health-related fitness, a group of 5 physical characteristics that contribute to a person's overall well-being. The 5 components, hopefully you've talked about this in health as well. Health-related fitness includes cardiovascular endurance, muscular strength, muscular endurance, flexibility, and body composition. Body composition meaning like what makes up you, so your muscles, bones, fat, etc. Non-dominant, so if you're a right-handed person, usually your non-dominant would be obviously your left hand and vice versa. In this description it says the hand or foot not preferred for manipulative fine motor skills. So like for example, I prefer not to write with my left hand just because I don't have much coordination in comparison to my right. Opponent, someone who competes against another in a contest. The final round has 2 very strong opponents playing against each other. Placement, location. The placement of the shot forced the defender to move quickly to try and return it. Positioning, the location and bodily arrangement of an athlete in anticipation of a strategic move. Quick, able to move with speed. Usually quickness refers to short spurts of maximal energy. Relationship, the way the 2 or more concepts, objects, or people are connected. In physical education class, we learn about the movement relationship between people and objects. So being able to use equipment for strategic purpose. Respect, to appreciate someone or something as a result of their abilities, qualities, or achievements. Return, to send something back to a person or place. David hustled to return the shuttle after his opponent hit it into open space. Safety, the condition of being protected against physical, social, and emotional harm. So especially when you're using equipment, it's really important to apply safety practices because you don't want to break the equipment, hurt your, like if you're playing doubles and you swing the racket and you let go, you could be hurting someone that's on your team. So it's always important to make sure that you use all safety protocols when using equipment. Serve, the stroke used to put the shuttle into play at the start of each rally. So the serve for most games, net and wall games, usually begin at, the serve is used to start the game, and usually like in net and wall games, like I said, it's the first of that rally point. Service line, the front line of the service courts that regulates serves. Usually the service line is that line that marks where the server has to stay behind and cannot cross. Shuttle, a cork to which feathers are attached in order to form a cone shape or a similar object made of plastic struck with rackets. The ability or skill, the ability to do something well. So if you can perform, let's say a particular serve and you do it with minimal error, you would be an example of being skilled in that serve. Skill-related fitness, a group of 6 psychomotor characteristics that contribute to a person's ability to successfully complete a physical performance. The 6 components of skill-related fitness include agility, balance, coordination, power, reaction time, and speed. And again, these are the psychomotor characteristics for skill-related fitness. So a little bit different than the components that we talked about earlier. Smash, a hard hit overhead shot that forces the shuttle sharply downwards into the opponent's court. Usually this shot is used when the shuttle has been positioned in the air for a longer period of time and it's kind of hovering. So in order to score quickly and efficiently with a low percentage of being received, this shot will be used. And it's a direct line and toward the floor, basically. Soft, an action done lightly without a lot of force. So if you were to use more of a softer forehand shot or backhand shot, it's usually used when the defense is placed more in the back of the court. So then the birdie will be placed right in front of their side of the net. Space, an area with height, depth, and width within which all things exist and move. Speed, the rate at which someone or something is able to move or operate. Sportsmanship, ethical, appropriate, polite, and fair behavior while participating in a game or athletic event. So sportsmanship, not just for sports, but just in general competition. This is something used to prevent any arguments or negative experience in the activity. Strategy, a plan of action for achieving a goal. Target, an object selected as the aim of attention or attack. So a target in badminton would be the open space where the defense is not. So I always tell my students to try to find, read the defense and always try to find open areas to place the birdie so you can successfully score a point. Timing, the ability to choose the best moment for some action or movement to occur. Tournament, a sporting competition in which contestants play a series of games to determine an overall winner. Volley, to strike something before it touches the ground. This is an academic language quiz. I was just going to kind of go over this quickly. What kind of shot is described as a high and deep shot? This would be your clear shot. What shot is described as the most powerful? This would be smash because it is a direct line into the floor with very little chance of it being received. Number 4. Oh, I'm kind of skipping around here. I apologize, but I'm going to keep going down the line instead of back and forth there. So a plan of action for achieving a goal is called strategy. And the next one, the ability to change body position and direction quickly and efficiently is called agility because you're going from slow to fast. What stroke is used to return a shot on the dominant hand of the body? This is going to be forehand. What stroke is used to return a shot on the non-dominant side of the body? This would be backhand. What shot is described as shot hit that just crosses over the net? This would be drop. The stroke used to put the shuttle into play at the start of each rally is called a serve. These are cues for the different shots. So you have forehand. The grip is to shake hands with the racket, make the V with the thumb on top and index finger. Relaxed, firm wrist grip. Stance, just like in most of these, are going to be knees bent, arms extended, racket ready on dominant side. So if you're right-handed athlete, the racket's in your right hand. Contact, racket face up. Contact shuttle with head of racket, flick your wrist. Backhand, a backhand stroke is a return on the non-dominant side of the body using your dominant hand. Grip, you have to shake your hands with the racket, make the V with the thumb and index finger. Relaxed, firm wrist grip. Your stance is feet and shoulders turned to opposite side, so you're cross court. Knees bent, arms extended diagonally across body, racket ready on non-dominant side, so you have to turn, and then contact, shuttle with head of racket, snap wrist, and follow through. Your clear shot, so this one uses a little bit more force because it goes towards the back. Shake hands with the racket, make the V with the thumb and pointer finger, firm relaxed wrist, Stance, non-dominant foot in front, dominant foot in the back, knees bent, and racket ready. Contact, racket extended on dominant side, shuttle and make it contact in the middle of the racket face, wrist flicked, and follow through. Forehand serve, stance is going to be the same on both sides for the backhand and forehand. The grip, you'll notice a slight difference. So on the grip for the forehand, elbow close to body, forehand grip, hold shuttle by the neck with 2 fingers on hitting side, contact with the drop of the shuttle, flick wrist, you're going to rotate your forearm and contact below the waist. This will make more sense when you're in practice doing it, but these are the cues that I would be looking for in class. The grip for the backhand, elbow out, kind of like a chicken wing, backhand grip, racket head at waist, hold shuttle in front of the racket head with 2 fingers, contact, drop the shuttle, push racket forward with your thumb, and flick your wrist. Drop shot, stance, staggered stance, knees bent, arms extended in front of the body, kind of like fencing pose. Contact, shuttle in center of the racket, little follow through, placement just over the net in front court. The smash is more of the aggressive shot. Its intention is to make sure that the defense does not return it. Staggered stance, dominant arm stretched high. You transfer your weight. Contact, extended racket towards the sky. Contact at highest point. Snap wrist down and follow through. So movement concepts to think about. Where does your body move through space? Where does your racket move through space? And why is it important to think about space? So when you're playing and you're positioning yourself, you want to make sure that you're positioning yourself towards like the center or the middle of your side of the court. Because if you're too far back, if you're playing against a decent offensive team, they're going to try to place the birdie where you're not. So just playing that center field range of the court, this will help you be able to move a little more quickly if you have to go back or forward. Think about movement through space, location, directions, levels, pathways, extensions. Examples: when moving to return the shuttle, a straight line is the best pathway to take in order to position your body for striking. A high curve shot can be used to slow the pace of the game and give you time to regain your position on the court. So if you're someone that's just getting to the birdie really quickly with not a lot of time and you need to reposition yourself, striking that birdie up high and lofty will give you more time to get back to your base position. This is talking about the relationships. I'm not going to go too far in depth with this. Quickly though, just make sure you're thinking about with your body, with your opponent, where you need to be as far as floor. I call it floor balance, but court balance. So you're not too close to your teammate, because then you won't be able to cover as much ground. So you want to be evenly spaced out. With the shuttle, making sure that you're in position to contact the shuttle. You're not too far away, not too close when you strike, and you have good timing. Making sure you're not too close to the net, and also you're in bounds with the floor markings. Your effort, so this has to do with striking with the racket, so how much force you're putting behind it exactly, and your timing. When I first introduced badminton, there's a lot of errors as far as timing. Sometimes we have a lot of birdies hitting the floor because we're a little too quick to strike at the birdie, but it comes with practice and being able to read the birdie as it comes down from the air. These are the boundary lines. Kind of talked about this, how it's a little bit different in singles and doubles. So singles, you'll see that we're a little bit more inwards, and in doubles, we're using that outer line. Center line divides the sides right and left. The long service line is right here in the back. These are the boundary lines in the farthest back. Short service line, the net, and then it's just kind of the same outline as the other side. Here's your racket. The throat is the one that's kind of closer to the head of the racket. So kind of thinking of like a person, you got your head is your, main part of the face, and then it goes down to the throat. The shaft is the middle part, and then you have your handle where your hand goes for the grip. The birdie, just two terms for that one, base and feathers. So it kind of looks like feathers at the bottom there. The rule sheet, this is for, I think it's kind of like a basic summary, I would guess. So server stands inside a service court. Serve must land within the diagonal opposite service court. There's only one serve attempt. Play continues until one player fails to hit the shuttle over the net into fair play area of the court. Rally scoring rules apply. This means that a point can be scored by either team on every rally. When the serving team loses a rally, the serve changes to the opposite team. And that is